So here we are looking at the chart for FLPC, and again I would encourage you to look at the disclaimer on that opening slide. But here we are looking at the daily chart, and we have an interesting chart setup here taking place. This chart, let me zoom out some, has a history of making big moves. You can see back here in October had this nasty downtrend and then just exploded upwards, over 100% move here, then fell back down. Did put in a higher low though, so that is key as far as longer term players are concerned. Not by much, but a higher low is a higher low at the end of the day. Consolidated it again, and then you can see this massively big move, and now has pulled back again here. And a pretty interesting thing happened today, and that's what I want to touch on. But the first area that I just wanted to point out was, as the past history of the chart shows, this chart has made two massive moves in basically the past 3 months, we'll call it. So there's a definite history here of profitable moves, we'll call them. So zooming back in and looking here, the thing that I want to point out and that I wanted to kind of talk about here was right here with this purple line, this being the 50-day simple moving average. For those of you not familiar with charts, there's really two main moving averages, the 50-day and the 200-day. We have the 200-day up here and the 50-day here. So why is that important? Well, because the price has been above it, we want to see it acting strong as a support. And this morning you can see that the price essentially opened up right at that level, and what happens? A bounce started to take place. Now there wasn't any sort of huge volume or anything like that, but the point being, this 50-day proved its strength and showed that there is a level of support down here. So that's a very encouraging and very important thing to see. If it had opened up down here and then just crashed down through, then this chart's pretty much dead in the water. But the exact opposite happened. It opened up down here and then went all the way up from that point forward and actually closed at the high of the day on decent volume compared to what it's had. Obviously nothing like this explosive day back here, but if you kind of look closely, it was an increasing volume day. So we'll see if any sort of bounce continues on off of this moving average here. So if you haven't figured it out yet, the key level of support for this one is going to be the 50-day simple moving average, and that's based at 6 cents. Now in terms of resistance levels, the interesting part with this chart is because of this big move here, there's actually the resistance levels thin out pretty quickly. The first level to keep your eye on is right here at the 8-cent level. So let me change this to red real quick for resistance. And I'm just going to leave this line skinny because while it is a resistance, I think with the right amount of volume, I think this wouldn't take much to get through. But if you just look back through the history of the chart, you can see multiple times the price has come up right here around the 8-cent level and got knocked down. But in terms of resistances starting to thin out, this is what I mean. After 8 cents, the next resistance is not up here until this previous high right here, and that's at basically 11 cents. So from 8 cents and the next one's not until up over 10 cents. You get the point that these things really start to thin out. And then there's another one here at the 200-day simple moving average right here at 12 cents. So a little miniature kind of resistance zone, but then after these, you can see that the next levels of resistance are not until way up here. And again, I already know I pointed this out, but if we look back through the history of the chart, this stock has the capability to really get moving fast, which is why I say with the right amount of volume, these resistance levels, I don't foresee putting up too much of a fight, especially after this sign of strength here by the 50-day providing support. So definitely worth getting on your radars and seeing how it trades tomorrow and the rest of this week. But again, real quick, the key level of support, which has already proven its strength, is the 50-day simple moving average right here based at 6 cents. The initial level of resistance is going to be 8 cents, and then up here at 11 and 12, and then after 11 and 12, really you're not looking at until resistances until well up over 16 cents. So given how resistance levels thin out so much, and then given the past history of how the price can really get moving, I definitely get it up towards the top, if not at the top of your radars for the tomorrow and the remainder of this week. So again, this was FLPC. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for listening.